You're about to watch 3 people disappear. Not in some remote wilderness, but in the heart of modern Europe. Places crawling with witnesses, cameras, and technology. And yet, at 2:17 p.m. in a busy Bulgarian airport, a sprinting man vaults a fence into sunflowers. His passport burns in a trash can. At 4 a.m. on a Dublin street, a young banker walks toward a shadowy figure under a doorway lamp. Neither is seen again. And at 4:20 a.m. in an English town, a garbage truck compacts a bin that suddenly weighs 116 kilograms, 41 kilograms heavier than the man who vanished beside it. These aren't just ghost stories, they're forensic nightmares. Cases where every clue collapses under scrutiny, where security cameras show everything and nothing. How does someone vanish from a packed airport? Why would a man burn his own passport? And how does a phone travel 38 miles per hour toward a landfill without its owner? Stick with me. By the end, you'll question whether anyone truly disappears without a trace, or if the traces were there all along. July 8, 2014, Varna Airport, Bulgaria. A 20-year-old German tourist named Lars Mittank suddenly bolts through emergency exits, scales a 2-meter fence, and vanishes into thin air. His final text to his mother read, "They will kill me." But security footage shows no one chasing him, not a soul. Let's rewind 1 week. Lars is celebrating summer at Bulgaria's Golden Sands resort. On July 4th, during Germany's World Cup loss, he gets into a bar fight at the Cactus Bar. Police reports confirm he took a kick to the right ear. A clinic diagnosed a minor eardrum injury and prescribed an antibiotic. His friends wanted to stay with him as he was flying later, but he told them not to worry, so they flew earlier. Lars stayed behind, claiming ear pain, though doctors had cleared him to fly. Then the unraveling. Within 48 hours, staff at Hotel Color heard him screaming in the room 319. "They're injecting me." His text to his mother grew frantic. "Mama, they found me." On July 6th. 4 men are waiting outside on July 7th. He fled a Varna hospital appointment barefoot, captured on traffic cameras. Then came the critical clue. Lars burned his passport in a trash can at Burgas Airport, 30 kilometers away. Why destroyed his only ticket home? On July 8th, at Varna Airport, he checked in for his flight. Then froze at passport control. For 11 minutes, he stared at police. Without warning, he sprinted past baggage claim and scaled a perimeter fence into a sunflower field. His luggage was later found. Clothes neatly folded, wallet untouched. Only his phone and antibiotics were missing. So what happened? There are 3 main theories. Theory 1. Antibiotic psychosis. European Medicines Agency data confirms that the antibiotic that was given to Lars can cause hallucinations in 0.1% of cases. Theory 2. Brain injury, but his hospital CT scan showed no trauma. Theory 3. Crime. In 2019, a prisoner claimed Lars was murdered for stealing cocaine. Police excavated the alleged site. Nothing was found. Even a severed foot discovered nearby didn't match his DNA. More than 10 years later, there is no body, no bank activity, and no trace. German investigators reopened the case in 2023 over organized crime links, but the paradox endures. How could a man on a common medication see hunters that 32 airport cameras never captured? Psychosis or a threat only he could see? December 8, 2000, 4 a.m. Haddington Road, Dublin. Slick with rain. 22-year-old Trevor Deely, a junior banker at Bank of Ireland Asset Management, walks toward a dimly lit Allied Irish Bank doorway. A man in a dark coat leans against the stonework. Trevor passes him, umbrella in hand. 4 minutes later, CCTV shows him returning down the same deserted street. The waiting man steps forward. Both vanish into the shadows, and Trevor is never seen again. Let's rewind this case as well. Trevor's office Christmas party at the Hilton had ended merrily. He continued to Cooper's Face Jack's nightclub with colleagues. At 3:15 a.m., he left alone. He withdrew €70 from an ATM, called his girlfriend, and began the 27-minute walk to his office at Wilton Terrace. Now we have a critical gap. Between 3:40 a.m. and 3:55, Trevor's movements are not recorded. And then we have these timestamps. So at 3:55 a.m., the man appears in the doorway. At 3:58, Trevor walks past him towards his office. At 4:01, Trevor reappears walking backward along his path. And then, at 4:02, man steps towards Trevor, and both exit the frame. 5 days later, Trevor's black umbrella was found in the River Dodder, 1.2 kilometers away. Garda divers searched in vain, and for 16 years, the case froze. In 2016, a witness came forward reporting blood-curdling screams near Baggot Street Bridge at 4:10 a.m. Police dredged the river and found nothing. Then, in 2020, enhanced CCTV revealed a second figure lurking in a recessed doorway across the street. Garda Kolke's unit stated this was a coordinated abduction. These men knew his route. 24 years later, 3 forensic truths haunts investigators. First of all, Trevor's DNA is on the umbrella's handle. Second of all, the hidden man's face remains pixelated beyond recognition. And third, Trevor's work laptop, left charging at his desk, showed no unusual activity. The doorway still stands, and Europe's most persistent question echoes: who were those rain-slicked shadows? And why did they haunt a junior banker on a deserted street? Let's go to England for a final case. 4:05 a.m. Corrie McKeague's Fitbit registered its final heartbeat. 4:20 a.m. A garbage truck's weight sensor spikes to 116 kilograms besides the exact spot he vanished. Between these 15 minutes lies a black hole in Europe's most forensically chaotic disappearance. Let's go back to September 24, 2016. Corrie McKeague, a 23-year-old RAF regiment runner, celebrates a friend's birthday at Flex nightclub. 1:20 a.m. Cameras capture him buying chips. At 3:15 a.m., he's ejected for drunkenness. Not unusual for Corrie. Friends call him a happy drunk who'd sleep anywhere. At 3:21 a.m., Corrie enters a narrow service alley behind a bakery. At 3:25 a.m., he leans over a 100-kilogram capacity industrial bin labeled Defy waste collection at 4:20 a.m. At 3:45 a.m., motion-activated cameras go dead. Later it was confirmed that the batteries were faulty. And this is where the normalcy ends. Corrie's Samsung Galaxy S6 begins pinging cell towers, tracking the truck's 24 kilometers route to Milton Landliff at 38 miles per hour. Police later calculated this required the phone to be in the moving vehicle. But here's where science rebels. The Fitbit paradox. Corrie's heart stopped at 4:05 a.m. The weight impossibility. Bin manufacturers Rorsoka stated 116 kilograms exceeds mechanical limits by 16 kilograms. And third, the phone anomaly. For 4 hours after his death, the phone kept moving. Police dug anyway. 20 weeks, 6.5 tons of waste. grid searches with dogs, and the result? Not a tooth, not a shoelace. Then comes the twist. In 2022, Suffolk police admitted the weight sensor malfunctioned. In 2023, FOIA requests revealed the truck made an unscheduled 9-minute stop at Barton Mills. Driver's alibi? I urinated. But the GPS data showed no door openings. In 2024, a homeless witness emerged. I saw 2 men dragging something heavy near the bakery at 4:10 a.m. In this case, we know 3 facts for sure. Corrie couldn't have climbed the 1.8-meter bin alone while drunk. His phone couldn't move 38 miles per hour without a vehicle, and no human remains survived landfill decomposition. The theories? Countless. 3 vanishings, 3 countries, 3 black holes in Europe's forensic net. Lars Mittank sprinted from invisible hunters in a sun-drenched airport, his passport ashes in a bin. Trevor Deely walked into a rain-lashed doorway's shadow, only leaving an umbrella in the river. Corrie McKeague dissolved between a dead Fitbit and a lying garbage truck, his phone racing to a landfill without him. So where does this leave us? With Lars's mother still checking Bulgarian forests. With Trevor's brother reviewing enhanced CCTV pixels. With Corrie's family staring at landfill cell G17. Until answers come, Europe's darkest vanishings remain mirrors.